Hi guys, and welcome back to the Kansas Garden Mom. Yeah, it is June 2nd, and I am embarrassed to say that this behind me is still last year's garden. April and May just got away from us, and we had just a horrible time, and we're not able to get it taken care of. I have 3 kids who play spring sports, so my April was completely filled with baseball and softball games. I have a daughter who plays softball in college. I had a daughter who was a senior playing softball in high school, and then I have a freshman in high school who was playing baseball. And so we just didn't get it done in April. And then May rolled around, and we had continuation of the softball and baseball. We also had some bad things happen within our family. My father-in-law ended up getting sick and passed away, and so my husband had to be away for a while, taking care of some business. And then as a family, we had to go down and visit family and attend the services, and so that took up a big part of our May. I also had a daughter who graduated high school, and we had her graduation party, so planning her graduation party and everything else. We just never got around to getting the garden done. So this is real life issues, you know. I know that this happens, it's not just me, but other people have the same problem. And with it being June so late in the season, I've really debated on whether we go on and plant a garden this year or just let it go to waste. But you know, I can't let it go to waste. I have to plant the garden. It's where my happy spot is for the summer, and so we're gonna do it. And the thing about it is, yeah, it's June 2nd. I have my pepper plants and my tomato plants and everything ready to go. I may not be getting produce by July 4th, but I'll get it eventually, so it's worth doing. A little is better than none. And we'll make adjustments for what will grow now, and maybe even plan for further into the fall some other produce that we normally don't grow. We may go on and throw it in and just see how it goes, just because we are so late. So my advice is go on and plant a garden if you've been debating on planting it. If you don't plant it, you get 0. If you do plant it, there's a possibility that you'll get some. So that's what we're planning on doing. Come along with us while we clean out the garden today and get it ready for planting. Harvest. Okay, so far we have everything pulled up now with the ground cover and most of the weeds. What I'm going to do next is I'm going to go get my lawnmower, and I'm going to grind up, mow this down, grind it up into the dirt, and then I'm going to do something that's very controversial, and I know a lot of gardeners don't do it, but I'm going to till the ground. I always till just once a year. If you are someone who does the no-till garden method, good for you. It's never worked for me. I can't. In the way that I do it, it works for me, and so that's what I'm gonna do. And I know it's controversial. I don't need anybody coming on here and telling me how horrible it is, but I do mulch up, grind up what's left here, and then till it into the ground, and I only do it once a year. So that's my next steps. So we'll see. I didn't show much of the cleaning up of the garden. My adult child helped me, and I did break it to her that I started this YouTube channel, but she was very encouraging, actually. I didn't think she would be. I thought she would make fun of me, or, you know, I don't know. I didn't know how she would react, but she was very encouraging, and she's actually giving me ideas of things to do on here. So kudos to her. She's my sweetheart. She did help me. It made this job go so much faster, but I'm respecting her wishes by not videoing her. And so I didn't video most of the cleanup, but she did help. That was amazing. So yeah, I will catch you in a minute while I'm mowing. from today. And our harvest from today. Hi guys, welcome back to the real life garden mom. The last time that I started this video was 2 days ago, June 2nd, and today is June 4th. We had to stop the other day because we had meetings and my son had a baseball game, and so we got done what we could get done, which is basically it's ready to roll and plant. So that's where we're at. Yesterday we had so much rain, it poured, so this is pretty much a mud pit right now, but I'm gonna go on and do this and get it started because there's rain in the forecast for the next few days, and if I don't get it done, then we're even more behind. So I'm gonna go on and do what's probably another controversial thing. People probably will not like this at all, but I do cover the whole ground in fabric cloth. It just helps me, especially, you know, you can kind of tell probably how busy I am with 4 kids and summer activities and everything else. I always just cover the whole ground with fabric cloth, landscape cloth, and then I burn holes for my plants, and it just helps. I've used the fabric cloth probably the last 3 or 4 years, and it has been so beneficial. But I went down into our shed to look for the fabric cloth, and I noticed that we had only 3 partial rolls left, and my husband had told me that I had plenty for the garden, which I don't. So I had to run to Sam's, which Sam's is about 30 minutes away from us, and I picked up a few more rolls. But this was the first kind that I had used, and it is, you can tell just by the video, it's very thin, flimsy, and there's not enough on there for anything anyway, so I'm not using that one. I don't know even what I used that one for to begin with. The second one is this. It's more like a plastic roll, and it's not great quality. I don't foresee this making it through the sun for more than a couple weeks, and so that is also a no-go for me. But Sam's Club has these contractor grade fabric cloths, and it is a pretty good quality. This is what I've used again for the last couple of years, and it seems to hold up well. By the end of the season, there are weeds growing up through it. There are some holes in it. Sometimes I try to just cover those holes with some cardboard just to get me through, but for the most part it really does. It just helps with the weeding and not having to hoe every day and take care of you know, the mess that comes with it, because if I don't cover the whole garden, in a few weeks we'll have weeds up to my waist and we won't be able to find any of the produce. So that's why I choose to go on and do it this way. I'll show you. This is the roll that I get. Well, I don't take this off. It is a nice big thick fat roll. It's huge. It is like 4 foot by 255 foot long. And it comes with the little stakes if you want to use the stakes. I don't use the stakes. I use these bricks to hold them down. It seems to help me, so that way whenever I do go to tear it up next season, I don't leave metal in the garden. But I do roll it out. I get it at Sam's again for like, I think today it was on sale for 25 bucks. I think it's normally like $30 or $35. But it's very helpful, very beneficial. And I just roll it across the whole garden. Like I said, I use the bricks to hold it down, and then I come back through with a torch and burn holes and plant my plants inside the holes, and it just seems to help. So that's what we're gonna do now. I have about an hour to work before I have to take my kid to another meeting. I'm gonna get done what I can get done. Hopefully we'll get it rolled, and then we'll go from there. So. Story, you know how I said that this was a nice thick fabric. This year's from Sam's Club is again thinner. It's not as thick as last year's, so that's a little disappointing, but we'll see how it goes. Again, it's a nice thick roll, but this one is not as thick as that roll I just used. I wonder if all of these are the same. No, that one feels thicker. Why does this one felt so thin. Maybe I just got a bad roll. I don't know, maybe it's just a bad roll, because this other roll seems a lot thicker. I'm gonna use that one first. Save that other one for something else. Weird. Does it say the same thing on it? Maximum strength weed barrier. Yeah, it says the exact same thing on it. On the thing, it just must have been, there must be some inconsistencies with the actual fabric, because this one seems like it's the thicker again, and I really like that thickness. The thin one just doesn't seem like it will last as long. And this is wrapped different, it's taped differently, but it's the exact same thing. It's the exact same packaging. It's just taped differently on it. This is that better quality, so interesting. Huh. The stakes inside are different. I don't know if this is, I don't know. It said the exact same thing on it. Huh, it's packaged differently and it sure does feel different, but anyways, I'm glad I got this other one. Okay, so this is about 40 minutes of work. I have about 3/4 of the garden rolled. My son is texting me, telling me it's time to go to a 4-H meeting, but I wanted to give you an update about 40 minutes. That's as far as I got. I do need to come back in and like right there, and definitely like right in there, place some more bricks down right there. This guy is a sunflower. When we were cleaning out the garden 2 days ago, my daughter and I decided that he really wanted to survive and we were going to leave him. With the rains yesterday, he was laying down, but I did cut the fabric to go around him, and then I put the bricks around him, and then it kind of propped him up a little bit. But anyways, we're gonna give him a chance. And then this guy right here is a volunteer zucchini, and it actually has some female flowers on it already that look like they're maybe gonna produce. And then that right there, that started out as my compost pile. However, I don't compost out of it because we throw all the weeds in there, and I don't want the weed seeds to come back into my garden. So it's basically just a spot where we salvage everything and throw it in there and let it go. So started as a compost, ended as a junk. So just an update, what we have now is what looks like a brick graveyard. And I do see a couple spots that I still need to throw down a brick or two. But for the most part, this is what it will be. Once we get the plants in there and the cages, yes, this is Kansas, so we cage our tomatoes. Once I get all of my plants in here and the cages and the stakes and everything, it will hold this this ground cover down really well. And this is permeable. It lets the rainwater go into the ground to water them still. And it just protects from that, provides that weed barrier that we need. Because like I said, it saves me time later having to hoe and pull weeds that will easily get to my waist high before you know it. So this is where we're at right now. Come back in a minute and I'll talk about planting. Okay, so now I have to decide where I'm going to plant all of my plants. Unlike a lot of gardeners, I don't have a garden plan. I just do rotational gardening. So I don't plant the same type of plant in that area 2 years in a row. I move them around. And so I know where I don't want to plant my plants, but I don't exactly know where I'm planting them. I'm thinking that, so last year my sweet peppers were up here closer to the house, and my hot peppers were over on this side closer to our alleyway. And they were up here in the front. So I think that I'm definitely going into the back. I can't decide though if I want to do a straight line of sweet peppers all the way across the garden, or if I want to break it up like I did last year and do like half the garden. I know that I want to keep my hot peppers away from my sweet peppers so they don't cross-pollinate and create hot peppers for my sweet peppers, but beyond that, I'm not quite sure what I'm doing. So these are all of my pepper plants that I started back in January, February, sometime in there. I have a video on it on here, so you can go check that out if you want to, if you're interested in knowing all of the different varieties that I did plant or that I did start. And right now I just am sorting my sweet peppers and getting them prepared so that I can plant them once I make this decision of what I'm going to do. When I plant my sweet peppers or my hot peppers, all of them, I do plant them so that they are holding hands or close to each other, I guess. I always say holding hands. It helps whenever the wind, it prevents them from getting damaged or broken, and provides a little more protection. So I do plant them close together so that they are kind of touching limbs whenever they grow bigger, so that they kind of help support each other. Anyways, I don't know yet what I'm gonna do. I can't decide. Part of me wants to go all the way across, but then if I do that, I'm not quite sure where I'm gonna put my hot peppers. I know that I want my tomatoes up here in the front. I'm thinking about maybe my tomatoes up here in the front, a row of sweet peppers behind them, then leave space for like my viney stuff and my trellises, and then do the sweet peppers across the top row. I think that's what I'm gonna do. I'm trying to vision it in my head, and it seems like it will work. I don't know. I just keep going back to, do I want my hot peppers and sweet peppers all in one row all the way across? It's been a couple years since I did that. I did them more in clumps, like a rectangular area. I don't know. I guess I'll think about it and I will come back and talk to you about that in a minute. Okay, I think I have a plan. I keep going back and forth on it. I think what I'm gonna do is, I think that in this back corner back over here, I'm gonna do my sweet peppers, and then in this corner back over here, I'm gonna do my hot peppers. I think that's what I'm gonna do. The thing about it is, once I start, I can't change my mind. I have to think about where my trellises are going. So I think that'll work. I think that's what I'm gonna do. I'm just gonna go for it, yeah. So sweet peppers are gonna go back in this corner. Again, I just have a little torch and I burn a hole in the in the ground cover, and then I plant the pepper down in it and cover it, water it in nicely. And then we're supposed to get more rain this week, so that'll help out. But again, I'm gonna go start that. I plant them close together again so that they support each other, and they have their arms touching, so, or hands, holding hands is what I call it. But anyways, come along. My torch is a different one than last year. My last year's just would give a splurt and then click off. This one just seems to keep going, so creating a little bit of a challenge for me right now. You can't really tell out here, but it is starting to get late, so I wanted to videotape this and record it and show you exactly what I'm doing here so that I can get this video edited and posted. But what I do is I plant 2 tomatoes kind of close together, and I share one stake post or T-post there with the tomato cages around it, and that's how I do it. I have, let's see, 2, 4, 6, 8, 10 tomatoes that are in the ground already. I'm going to keep working here even though it's getting a little dark, and see how many I can get in before tomorrow morning. I think that there's supposed to be some more rain tomorrow, so I wanted to get some more in the ground so that they could have a chance to take off with that. But I also wanted to show you guys this beautiful clematis right here. This actually came from my grandmother's house. My dad brought it out, and he planted it here years ago, and every year it's one of my favorite things to see blooming. They're just so pretty. And anyways, this year it's in all its glory right there. Just beautiful. Anyways, so yeah, tomatoes. I have a few peppers up there in, not very many. And I will wrap this up, and then hopefully next time that I post a video, I will have a full garden update, and hopefully this whole garden will be filled with food producing vegetables. Vegetable plants, sorry. Food producing vegetable plants in order for me to help my family be self-sustained a little bit. We still rely on the grocery store, but man, homegrown tomatoes are just amazing, aren't they? Store-bought ones taste like trash. So, all right. Thank you for watching. Take care, and I will see you on the next one.